Trust. We put people first every day at People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome in to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make it possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. In the studio with me now is Shalis Nagel, Executive Director of Kemmerer Village, and Brianna Horton, Future Director of the Assumption Community Daycare. Good to have you both in with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And really great to meet you, Brianna. And we've been talking about this Assumption Community Daycare for a while, and it feels like an even bigger step has been made here. So let's start this off by learning a little bit about you, Brianna. Where do you come from? What's your background?
I'm originally from Shelbyville. I have moved to Macon recently and getting involved within the Moequa Assumption community areas, and began working at Kemmerer Village in 2022. So that has been exciting. When I first originally started working with Kemmerer, I wanted to grow with them, and I am doing that as we make continued progression on the daycare that is coming soon. So super excited about that.
Absolutely. Almost keeping it in-house right here. It's an inside hire for you, Shalis. Must have been an easy pick right there. Talk to me a little bit about Brianna. What signs was she showing that she was ready for this big daycare position?
Well, really, as soon as we started talking about making big forward steps, Brianna expressed interest. She has the background. She's a great employee, so we knew she'd do a great job. And she really just jumped right in with extra fundraising ideas, willingness to just do whatever is needed to be done to get this project going.
Awesome. And I'm sure with your experience at Kemmerer Village, you are used to dealing with kids in all forms and any different mindset that they're in. Talk to me a little bit about those experiences you gained through your years with Kemmerer Village.
So originally before Kemmerer, I had worked at a doctor's office in pediatric, and I absolutely love that. That's where I learned that I have wanted to work with kids for the rest of my life. And after working with Crossing, I wanted to expand my knowledge on children. So I went to St. Mary's and worked on a psych unit with adolescent, and I enjoyed that. But sadly, that unit shut down, and I then found my way at Kemmerer Village in foster care, and then here I am now within the daycare. So
wow, just really awesome right there. And we congratulate you on getting this future director of the daycare. That is really awesome, because this interest has been expressed for this Assumption Community Daycare. I can't remember when the first time we talked about it was, but I mean, operations have been moving forward. The progression's there. Shalis, kind of what's the next step here for that daycare?
So right now we're continuing our fundraising efforts, and we really appreciate our sponsors, the Assumption Presbyterian Church, Sloan Implement, several local farming families, and most recently the Christian County Board with a really wonderful, significant grant that has helped us make some steps forward. So right now we are planning stages for installation of the outdoor playground. Very fortunate we'll be able to have an all-weather surface, so even if it rains, kids will be able to get outside and play pretty quickly. Won't have to wait for any mud or wood chips to dry. And then Brianna worked with some of the members of the Assumption Methodist Church to pick out the climbing structure. So really just waiting for a setup date for that. The internet was installed yesterday by CTI, so we're really excited about that. Really just in some of the final stages. There are several steps with DCFS when you work with any state agency, but Brianna has a jump on that as well.
Wow, and that's great. And I love hearing about the finishing touches, the things that you think about last once everything has been successfully completed, the daycare itself. Now, you're talking internet, you're talking playground, like that. Those are the things that we want to be hearing. We're even that much closer to the Assumption Community Daycare. A nice, generous grant from the Christian County Board. I remember reading that. Talk to me a little bit about how that was started.
Well, Lynn Corzine, who's the chair of the Methodist Church in Assumption, really linked with Brian Sharp, the chair of the Christian County Board. Christian County Board members were incredibly welcoming. I attended several meetings. Lynn did as well, to explain our community focus so that we can bring quality licensed childcare to the working families of Assumption and around Assumption, and just really expand that community's reach across their community.
Totally. And it could be nerve-wracking speaking in front of the county board. So, I mean, I'm glad that they recognized how important that Kemmerer Village is. And I'm sure that grant money is being put to the best of use. That is really great. We're talking right now with Shalis Nagel, Executive Director of Kemmerer Village, and Brianna Horton, Future Director of the Assumption Community Daycare. And Brianna, I mean, this is a big undertaking for you. You seem ready for it. And what are your next steps? You said Shalis said you had the jump on all the things happening behind the scenes there.
Oh yeah. So of course more fundraising. Yeah. We people keep hearing us say that, I'm sure, but that's what we need to get the center open, and we're getting there. And the more money we raise, the more we can do with our center. Not only are we hoping to have money to open our center and supply our community with the childcare that we need, but we hope to get enough to have scholarships and such within the community. So that is a hope for us. And then our next step within the center, of course, Charlotte said the playground equipment. We had the internet installed yesterday, and we'll be getting our rooms, the materials within our rooms, and decorated. So that's exciting as well.
Very exciting. Those are the fun parts. Those are the parts you want to be involved with, the decorating of the rooms. You already have some plans, some ideas of how you want the room to look?
Yeah. Colorful, of course. Cheerful.
Of course. Great. Yeah, very exciting. That's where you get to let your creative juices fly there. That's really fun. And when we're talking about that daycare, you bring up these the fundraising efforts. We're going to talk about some of the events that you guys have upcoming here in just a little bit. That's one of the most important parts. But I can't imagine that many people are turning a blind eye to Kemmerer Village. You hear about the amazing work you do with foster children and the care you provide. The community, this is one of those the community is going to be happy to help out with. Have you been seeing that response?
Absolutely. As I said, local businesses, other local churches, multiple area banks have provided donations towards the center. So absolutely, the community engagement is very significant. And we're really pleased. This is the first joint project for Kemmerer Village with the Assumption community directly. Moving forward, we've identified that we will have some advisory input from some community members so that it really is a joint community project.
Sure. And just to let the community know, because I'm sure so many parents out there could be thinking about how can I get on the wait list and when is this starting? Tell me a little bit about that information.
So we have had several parents or even future parents contact us. DCFS has very strict regulations. We cannot start a wait list at this point. When we do get ready to start a wait list, we will publicize when the wait list will open on our Facebook page, maybe even run a radio ad so everyone is aware, distribute more flyers. And then once that wait list opens, we'll give everybody an opportunity and move from there.
Perfect. We'll make sure nobody misses that opportunity there. We'll broadcast it all over our airwaves over here. That's really awesome. And you do have a number kind of set for the amount of kids for the daycare, though.
So our goal will be about 24. Of course, we'll stay within licensing ratios. So that will also, the overall number will depend on need in terms of ages.
Perfect. All right. We're going to learn more about that and much more about the events for fundraising here for Kemmerer Village and the Assumption Community Daycare. Brianna Horton, the future director of that daycare, and Shalis Nagel, executive director of Kemmerer Village, in the studio with me now. We're going to be right back here on WTIM, your information station. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make the morning show possible: People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. My name is Tim Zalabak. You are listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly lower, beans lower, and wheat trading steady at this hour. March corn down 3/4, 412.5. May corn down 1.5, 427. December new crop 461.5, down 1 3/4. March beans 11.25 3/4, down 8 1/4. May beans down 6.5, 11.38 3/4. November new crop 11.31.5, down 3.5. March Chicago wheat 5.73, up 2. July wheat down 1.5, 5.77. March bean meal 3.33.10, that's up $1.80. March bean oil 44.25, down 41 cents. Livestock market at this hour. March feeders 248.37, down $1.22. February live cattle 183.87, down 77 cents. April lean hogs 86.30, up 30 cents. Energy market, April crude oil down 3 cents, 78.51. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
This is Bill Wise with the latest Appetite for Pork report. Today I'm talking with Dr. David Newman, Senior Vice President of Market Growth at National Pork Board, about how your pork checkoff dollars are working to bring more U.S. pork to tables around the world. Dr. Newman, the pork checkoff has been working to expand markets here at home. What exactly does that mean for pork producers?
Right now, in this challenging market that we're in, our goal is driving demand both domestically and internationally. We're building one-on-one relationships with several different pieces of the marketing aspect of pork, retailers, food service operators, and we're also working a lot with C-stores. So making sure that we're playing in all the areas where consumers are shopping. Using checkoff funds to do that keeps pork top of mind with relevant consumers.
Thanks again, David, for talking with us today about how the pork checkoff is building a bigger appetite for U.S. pork. You can find out more information at porkcheckoff.org/radio.
In addition to great radio marketing, the Miller Media Group now offers a full suite of digital marketing solutions. Our affordable programs include custom web design and SEO to help you get found on Google. Seeking more inbound web and store traffic? Our Facebook, YouTube, and geo-targeted marketing programs are all designed to make your cash register ring. To get started, call your Miller Media account manager or go to mmgdigitalnow.com. Miller Media Digital, where digital becomes local.
This is Megan Lopez with Nesty's Burger Joint on the south side of the Taylorville Square. To see our menu, click on our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Shalis Nagel, Executive Director at Kimmer Village in Assumption. To learn more about our services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. We are in the midst of the WTIM morning show. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make it possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better. At Landmark, in the studio, we have Shalis Nagel, Executive Director of Kimmer Village, and Brianna Horton, the future Director of the Assumption Community Daycare. It's been a great conversation so far. Let's talk about some of the upcoming events and programs and initiatives that some of the Kimmer Village students are kind of exposed to here. And we always talk about Camp Carew, always a fun place to go out. And the Eclipse is coming soon. Talk to me about this one, Shalis.
So our campgrounds down on Little Grassy Lake, close to Mankanda, Illinois, is going to be in the path of totality. So we are offering programs that weekend, April 6th through the 8th, and it is $150 to stay in a more house-like setting called Ryman and McNabb, and that's for the whole weekend, just $150 per person. If you wanted to stay in more the dorm-style camp building or tent camping, or stay in one of our Hogans, which actually do have electricity, you can see pictures of those on the camp website. That's $125 for the weekend. You can bring in your own food, or we'll have food for sale, and we will have educational activities all weekend. We're going to be looking at Orion's Nebula and other star clusters, as well as some naked eye observation of prominent stars, seasonal constellations with some educational narrative going on with those, and then, of course, the eclipse viewing on April 8th. So
very exciting. I don't know where to start with that one. The price is so amazing. I mean, you can take the family out there for a very good priced weekend. And of course, the educational factor is there. And you're going to be in a piece of totality there in the path. That's very exciting. Talk to me a little bit about the combination of Camp Carew and Kimmer Village. How do you guys utilize that?
So during the regular camping season, we do send Kimmer Village clients down to Camp Carew. We run a Christian camping season of about 6 to 7 weeks. The setting is just beautiful, again, on Little Grassy Lake. We're really pleased to offer that. And then also after the regular camping season, we have a week where we take Kimmer Village clients who might struggle a little bit with a regular camping season, and Kimmer Village staff go down and interact with our kids, with the camp staff, and just everyone can have that experience.
Wow, and sounds very peaceful, and it sounds like a good getaway for those Kimmer Village kids right there. That is really awesome. But we're talking about the eclipse at Camp Carew, and that's happening when? What's the exact date for that?
April 6th through the 8th, and the eclipse is on April 8th.
Perfect. All right. And any information people need to find out about that, you can actually probably go to Camp Crew's website.
You can, campcrew.org, and there you can register right there on the website.
Easy enough. Awesome. We're talking about the eclipse over at Camp Carew right now. And we also learned a little bit about the involvement with Kemmerer Village. That's awesome. So now let's talk about some of the initiatives that are going to help push towards the Assumption Community Daycare there. I'm looking at something coming up, maybe a chicken dinner. That sounds good.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Nelson Catering is coming to Assumption April 8th. We'll be serving the community 4 to 6 that evening. You can find our ticket sales if you go to our Facebook page, Assumption Community Child Care Center. There's actually a link you can purchase those tickets. They have made it so easy for everyone to have access to those, which is awesome. And then, of course, we have paper tickets. Just find a Kimmer Village employee and they can get you those. So
awesome. Yeah. Any way to get yourself closer to the goal. That's going to be one of them right there. And I'm sure the community is not going to turn down an opportunity for some good chicken. Never heard of Nelson's before. That sounds like, is that a popular one?
It is. It's a fairly local company. They do a lot of catering around the area.
Cool. Awesome. So you got them involved there. And I hear about this one frequently, I feel like. Murder Mystery over at Willow Ridge. It always sounds fun. Chalice, explain this one.
So we did our first Murder Mystery last year, and we learned a lot about that. Willow Ridge was a great host last year. It's, again, a beautiful setting, really great wines to be had, some great sangria that they offer. And this year we're doing Death at the Derby. We took a little bit of a leap and we bought a package, and we have some staff with kids involved in local theater. So we will be staffing the theater pieces ourselves, as well as members of the audience who are willing, and we'll be just having a lot of fun. And the proceeds from that will benefit the Assumption Community Child Care Center.
That is super fun. You're getting some local theater involved there. What happens at the Murder Mystery? I really don't know.
So some actors begin by setting the premise and a couple key players, and then about a third of the way through, you find out someone's been murdered, quote unquote, and then you explore the different characters who could have committed that murder. A little bit like the game Clue, right, if you grew up with that, with Colonel Mustard and Mrs. Violet, I think, in the library. So it's similar to that, only it's acted out, and also you get to enjoy really great food with catering. Deb's Catering is doing the meal, and we do offer charcuterie boards for VIP tables at a pretty great price, so you can kind of snack and have your beverages and enjoy the show.
Love it. There's some ranges there of what you want to be seated in charcuterie board. I love it right there. And you mentioned Clue. You can't forget about the candlestick. I'm trying to think about the other weapons that were involved in that. That's funny. That is really awesome. It sounds like a great night and a great opportunity for some fundraising there. And I hear about the Murder Mystery. That's always a fun one. And the chicken dinner. Anything else you guys got coming down the way here? Are we're gonna finish up Murder Mystery and then take back to the drawing board?
That's what we have right now. Cool. Always looking at future fundraising events. We will be at the Assumption Fest in May, and we'll have a booth for Kimmer Village. And then, of course, we'll be at the Assumption Farmers Market. We do sort of longer term. Our 110th anniversary open house will be October 19th. We plan to run a fall festival. We already have some vendors signed up. If you visit the Assumption Farmers Market vendor page, then you can see my post about vendors to come out to our open house October 19th.
Beautiful. Awesome. And thank you for that. And Brianna, we're going to be speaking to you for the last time here, but any final words for our listeners as the future director of the Assumption Community Daycare?
We just really want to thank our community, and we could not be where we are without their support. Yeah. So like I said, we're just very thankful for them. And yeah,
without a doubt, the community is thankful for you both right here. And thank you guys for taking the time coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. That was Chalice Nagel, Executive Director of Kemmerer Village, and Brianna Horton, the future Director of the Assumption Community Daycare. Great conversation that was. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for listening.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.